Hey guys, it's me, Mario, and today we're going to continue Blaze, the Ice Dragon. Chapter 9, Shadow Warrior. How you guys doing today? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing a second video today because the last chapter was supposed to come out on Thursday, but I was busy on Thursday, so I couldn't do that. So we get two chapters and 2 videos. You guys get 2 chapters and 2 videos from me. And let's get started with Chapter 9, Shadow Warrior. Tom readied himself to strike again, but the ghost beast surged upwards, landing on an icy ledge out of the reach of Tom's shadow. Tom knew that he had to press his advantage while the beast was stunned with his injuries. But how could he attack Blaze with his shadow while the ghost beast covered far above him? Of course, he thought. The white jewel. He pulled the gem he had won from Kaimon the Gorgonhound out of his belt. It gave him the power to separate himself from his shadow. Tom climbed up to Elena, who kept her bow trained on the icy dragon, in case he shifted out of his ghostly form. Tom whispered in her ear so that Melville couldn't be able to hear his plan. My shadow is the only thing that can harm Blaze while he is in his ghostly form, he said. And the only way my shadow can reach him is if I use the jewel from Kaimon the Gorgonhound. Elena frowned. It's too dangerous, though, Tom, she whispered. When your shadow is separated from you, your body can't move. You won't be able to defend yourself if Blaze comes after you. Tom could see that the smoke out of worry for him. Tom could see that she spoke out of worry for him, but he would not be swayed. I know it's a risk, he said, but if we wait here, Blaze will recover, and he'll freeze us just like that rabbit in Derlot's garden. Suddenly, Ipos gave a tired-sounding cry, and the fireball in her talons faded a little. Tom looked back at Elena, whose face had hardened. I'll do my best to protect you, said Elena. If Blaze comes too close, I'll have my arrows ready. Tom gave Elena a quick hug of thanks, then took a deep breath, calling on the power of the white jewel. Dizziness gripped his head, and he put out a foot to steady himself before he opened his eyes. But he hadn't moved. Tom, said Elena excitedly, it's working. One leg of his shadow had peeled away. Tom ordered the other leg to do the same, and his shadow stood beside him as though it were a whole other person. In his mind, Tom told it to unsheath its sword, though his own arms were as still as a statue. His shadow drew its blade. Do battle with Blaze, he told the shadow. Tom was powerless to move, but his shadow did exactly as he asked, darting across the ice and clambering up the far side of the cavern wall towards the ledge where Blaze was recovering. And the stir once again. "Quicker," Tom urged. His shadow rippled silently over the wall and heaved itself onto the ledge. The ghost beast immediately turned to face the shadow, striking out with his tail. The shadow ducked and countered with its blade, bringing out a blood-curdling cry of agony from the ice dragon. Blaze leaped off the ledge and glided downwards, blowing another fresh layer of ice upon Epos's prison. Tom's shadow jumped down too, its sword held aloft, relentlessly chasing Blaze. Why didn't Malvis Beast stay and fight? Tom wondered. Why was it so important to keep the ice shelf in place? Epos lit another fireball. While Blaze and Tom's shadow faced off again, the ghost beast darted forwards, dodged the shadow's sword at the last moment, then flickered his muscular tail out. It struck Tom's shadow in the head, knocking him back against the wall. Tom felt the bruising pain as though his actual body had been hit. But instead of going after the shadow, Blaze breathed another icy blast at Epos, refreezing the ice shelf. Realization dawned on Tom's mind. Blaze was an ice dragon. Epos was a flame bird. Just as ice could imprison Epos, what if heat was Blaze's enemy? Was that why Blaze was keeping Epos imprisoned? Tom wished he could tell Elena his theory. She might be able to help Epos break the ice. But he did not want to risk attracting Blaze's attention. No, he had to be smarter about this. Somehow he would have to move. His brain told him it was impossible, but his heart told him otherwise. Tom sent his shadow running to the far side of the cavern, and Blaze followed. While they were busy, Tom channeled all his willpower into making his frozen limbs move. He felt a sweat break out all over his body, and his heart thundered in his chest. He managed to make his head turn, but it felt as though the sinews in his neck were being torn apart. Next, he concentrated on moving his arm. It was like trying to lift the anvil in his uncle's forge. His body screamed in pain, but the arm finally moved a fraction. His eyes caught Elena's expression. Her mouth was wide open in amazement. It took all his strength of heart, but somehow Tom dragged his body over to Epos's ice prison. He lifted his shield above his head. Beneath the ice, Epos flapped her wings madly in anticipation. The sight was enough to drive Tom on. With a growl of determination, he brought the shield down, ramming it into the ice. A crack splintered the center of the sheet, and Tom fell to his knees. I can't skip this one. Ugh. Can't skip this one either. Ugh. This sucks. I don't have YouTube Premium. He lifted his shield above his head. Beneath the ice, Epos flapped her wings madly in anticipation. The sight was enough to drive Tom on. With a growl of determination, he brought the shield down, ramming it into the ice. A crack splintered the center of the ice sheet, and Tom fell to his knees. He watched with delight as Epos burst free in a shower of icy splinters and took to the air. The crater was suddenly filled with golden light, and all around the ice began to melt and trickle in rivulets down the walls. Malvil's cry of despair split the cavern, and Blaze suddenly became his solid form once again. Through the searing heat, the beast's green and red scales glistened. It seemed Blaze couldn't remain a ghost in the midst of the smoking molten rock. The dragon hovered over Tom's shadow, but the solid beast posted it no danger. "You've done it!" cried Elena. "Epos is free!" Despite this, Tom knew the quest was far from over. He still couldn't move properly, and was vulnerable until his shadow returned to him. He kneeled on the remains of the ice and called his shadow back. But Blaze had already spotted him. The dragon turned its massive body and began flying in for the attack. Tom's shadow ran behind him, but it wasn't as quick as the beast. As Blaze slithered through the air towards him, Tom again saw the amulet piece near the dragon's shoulder. The amulet piece he needed to bring his father back to his flesh and bone form. Now he feared that would never happen. The icy jaws gaped, ready to devour him whole. And that was chapter 9. Shadow Warrior. Well, sorry to end up on a cliffhanger again, but you know how these chapters are at this point, so try not to bend the pages. It's hard for me because of my hand, and I have to like hold it with my arm like this, and the bottom of the pages are kind of like in my chest, so they kind of bend as I read because I have to turn the pages, and it's, yeah, they bend. All my books are in good condition, though. Except for the older ones, they're a bit worn. But yeah. Hope you guys will join me on Thursday? Yeah, I think it's Thursday. Next time. Where we will finish Blaze, the Ice Dragon. And I hope you guys like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you guys are interested in more Beast Quest videos. And maybe a few dragons here and there. Not sure though, I haven't made another one yet. But I do have some names written down. Right. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Thank you for 90 subscribers. Bye.